Hey everyone, in this video we'll talk about how should you charge for your freelance gigs. Whatever services you are providing, if you don't know how much should you charge for them, that will put you at a disadvantage. You will not be able to get the clients that you want to work with, and you will just end up in a really bad state as a freelancer. Okay, so it's really important that you understand how should you charge properly. And I think we have talked about this in the previous conversations that I've had with freelancers, but today I want to share whatever I have learned. I started MarketUp 2 months ago. It is a content creation agency. We work with a bunch of companies, and so I'll just be sharing what I have learned. I have made a lot of mistakes. I'll just be sharing what those mistakes are so that you can learn how can you become a better freelancer. Okay, make sure that you hit the like button, and now let's get started. The first part that you need to understand as a freelancer is there are two things. Okay, either you are selling your services as a standard pricing. Okay, so that could be, let's say you're going on Fiverr and you list your service saying that okay, you can edit videos for your clients, or you can make thumbnails for your clients. In that case, what you do is that you provide them with a particular price, saying that okay, this will cost you X amount, this will cost you 2X amount. So when you're doing something like this, it's important that you understand something called as the popcorn pricing strategy. Okay, popcorn pricing strategy. What does this mean? You can Google it up. You will be able to learn a lot about this. I'll keep it short here. The way this works is that you basically say that if you want to get one thumbnail, I will give it to you at 100 rupees, just an example. And let's say you want to get the medium pricing, that is the middle, price bracket. If you want to get 3 thumbnails, I will give that to you in, let's say, 250 rupees. But what you then do is you say if you want 5 or 6 thumbnails, I will give that to you in about 350 rupees. So what you're doing in this case is that you have 3 products that you offer. You offer a small, then you have a middle, and then you have a large popcorn packet that you can see. You can take the smaller version or you can take the larger version. If you take the middle version, it will be a disadvantage for you. That's how the brain works. It looks at the price of the middle bracket and it says that okay, I can get 3 thumbnails for 250 rupees, but if I can just pay 100 rupees more, I can actually get 6 thumbnails. That is more value for money. So most of the people either go for the small price bracket, or they would actually go for the higher bracket that you actually have for them. Okay, so the middle one, very few people choose because of this strategy, and you end up getting a lot more than you previously would have gotten if you would have just said okay, 1 thumbnail 100, 3 thumbnails 300, 10 thumbnails 1000. Just an example, but this is sort of how this works out. Okay, now let's go on and talk about when you are pitching the client. Okay, so this is the time when you are talking with the client on like a Zoom meeting, and you can negotiate and you can present your own perspective to them. Okay, so in this case, you don't really need to have a standardized pricing. You don't need to say that okay, this will just be 100 rupees, because there's something called as value-based pricing. Okay, so previously what you were saying is I will spend, let's say, 30 minutes to make this, and this will cost you 100 rupees. So you're setting your time as 200 rupees per hour. But in this case, what you will do is you will say that how much value can you as a business get out of me giving you this service? For an example, let's say you make a landing page for a company. Okay, so in this case, what you are doing is you are basically telling them that how much growth do you think you can have with this campaign? And if they say, let's say they are saying that okay, from this complete ad campaign that we are doing, we expect a revenue of about $50,000. That is 35 lakh rupees. Okay, so they are looking for 35 lakh rupees worth of sales from this particular campaign. So let's say you get 35 lakh rupees of sales out of that. I will take 3.5 lakh rupees, or let's do one thing, I will give you some more discount. I will give this to you at 3 lakh rupees. Okay, when you do that, you go away from that previous hassle of negotiating, saying that array 100 rupees bada do, like 1000, or like add 2000, decrease 2000. You talk solely on the basis of the value that the customer or the client will get. And when you do that, you get the opportunity to get paid more, as well as the client also understands that when you are getting a lot of value, it's okay for you to give some amount of that value to that particular freelancer. Okay, so that's how that works out. We'll talk about these a lot more in the future videos. I'll be talking about that too. But so far, if you're enjoying this video, make sure that you hit the like button. I talk a lot more about freelancing on this channel. So that's what we have done. One more thing, when you want to build trust with the particular client, what you do is you give them some trial options. So you say is, okay, if you want to try my services, I will give you 1 week trial. Okay. Or I will give you 1 or 2 videos edited, or I will give you 3 to 4 thumbnails edited. Then if you like it, then you will have to pay me for the trial period as well if you are using that. Okay, so that's sort of how that works out. If you are not happy with my services, if you don't want to continue, that is completely fine. Now let's move on to the next part. Again, make sure that you understand this value-based pricing. This will be crucial whenever you are negotiating with the client, and it's great for you to tell them that, hey, you are going to get X amount of value. Can't you just pay me 0.1x, 0.2x of what the value that you will get? Okay, that's sort of how that works. Okay, next part would be to understand that if you are in the creative field, you will have to overestimate the work that you do. This is the mistake that we made at MarketUp. We thought that it will take us X amount of time to do something, but it actually ended up taking us 2x amount of the time. So always overestimate the work you will do. There'll be so many times when they will ask for revisions. Okay, let's say you make a thumbnail, they will say कि ये ठीक नहीं है, इसको ऐसे करो, इसको वैसे करो. Or they will also say something like, this video is good, just change this one part. And when you give that change part to them, they will say, no, this is not looking good, change it to this. You can price for the revisions as well, but you need to understand this one thing very clearly, that you are in the creative field. There can always be a lot of changes depending on who is looking at your thumbnail and what perspective do they have with that. So just keep this one thing in mind. That's one thing. Let's move on to the next part. This is called as to charge a premium from your client. Okay, in this case, what you are doing is you are saying that I am not giving you the value of my time as a freelancer. I am giving you the value of your time and of your peace of mind. Just as an example, let's say you're talking with a customer and you are pitching them your rates for editing a video. So what you can say is, I can get this video edited for 3,000 rupees, but it might be problematic for you as the person who runs a business, because you might have to change something, you might have to put your own time into that, and I value your time a lot more. So what I will do is I will charge you 8,000 rupees and I'll make sure that the quality of the video edit that I'll do is fantabulous. Okay, you won't have to worry about that. This makes sure that they start valuing your services, and they also understand that, okay, this person values their time. Because if there's any person who's running a business that is successful and they're killing it, then they will also respect their own time. Okay, and they are completely fine with paying more, but making sure that the quality of the service that you're providing is a lot higher as well. So now let's move on to the next part, and this is going to be price anchoring. As I have said previously, charge a premium, and when you do that, make sure that you negotiate with them. But then let's say you say you start with a price for editing a video at 10,000 rupees. Okay, then the medium point that you will come at after negotiating would be much higher than, let's say, when you said, okay, we'll start the video editing rate at 7,000 rupees, for example. Okay, that is something called as price anchoring. You will understand a lot more about that if you like learning about negotiating. There's an amazing book called as Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss about negotiating. Totally look at that if you're interested about how to negotiate with a lot of people about a lot of different things. But anyways, the next tip is going to be, whenever you're negotiating with a client and they ask for reducing the price a lot from what you started, try to reduce the services that you're offering them. Okay, let's say there's a video edit that you need to do and you are saying 5,000 and they say, no, let's just get that at 1,000 or 1,500. What you then do is you say that, okay, I will get this done in this price, but then I will not include these effects. Okay, I will not have these transitions. I will not be able to have these elements into the video because the price is too less, right? So just make sure that you do that. Let's move on to the next part, and that is going to be that you need to understand that money is not the only incentive that you will get as a freelancer. Okay, there are two things that you can get. I'll give you an example. Possibly for this video, you might see some subtitles that will be playing in this video or in some previous videos on my channel. Now, the person who does the subtitles reached out to me saying that I will charge X amount per minute. What I said is that let's charge Y, and I will also include your gig in the description of this video. So then what happens is that I pay less, but when my video gets a ton of views, a lot of people will be contacting him and he will get a lot of work. So in total, he will get paid a lot more than what he would have gotten if he would have just said that, no, I will only take X amount from you. Okay, so that's just something to keep in mind. I work with a client and he said that, Ishan, look, if you work with us, I'll make sure that I'll connect you with a lot of startup founders that I know in the startup ecosystem in India. And when that happens, you can get a lot of clients. Learn to barter. Okay, that's basically what I'm saying. The next part, the last tip that I will give you, I hope you have been enjoying it. Let me know in the comment section if you like me making these sort of videos, just breaking down whatever I have learned about pricing. But anyways, yeah, the last tip that I will tell you is going to be about freelance client retention. Okay, it's a lot better when you have 2 clients and you're working for them for 6 months, for 1 year, for 2 years, because your workflow gets optimized for that particular client, for their particular service. I will give you an example. So there was this one video editor that pitched to us saying that, okay, I will work with you, but what I will do is that I will make presets for all of the videos that you want me to edit. Okay, so what that means is that once he makes the preset, the first video edit will take him 4 hours. Okay, the next video edit will take him 30 minutes, 45 minutes, because everything is ready. All he needs to do is to take out the previous video from the project in DaVinci Resolve or Premiere Pro, whatever you're using, and put back in the new video, adjust the effects and everything, and that is it. You are done and you don't need to put in a lot of effort. Let's say you're pricing X to them on like a single project basis. You can price them, let's say 0.7x. Okay, and when you do that, you are basically saying that, okay, if you work for a longer period of time, then I'm able to charge you 0.7x. But when that happens, I will also save a lot of time. So this is going to be a great thing, both for the client as well as for you. The client has a really hard time finding the right freelancer that knows how to edit their videos. Okay, so they are always on the lookout for getting freelancers that understand how to edit a video. They have sense of what is good and what is not good. So that's what they would always want to have. They would always want to have a freelancer that they can work with for a longer duration of time. Okay, so just keep this one thing in mind. It is going to help you in the long term. Retainer clients. That is pretty much it. I hope you got to learn something from this. You can follow me on Instagram at Ishan Sharma 7390. I share a lot of other tips for you as a freelancer, as a college student, and yeah, you can check me out over there. We are so close to hitting 1 lakh subscribers on this channel. I just want to thank all of you for this amazing love and support. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can check out my interviews with video editors, graphic designers, social media managers, and a lot more. Links are in the description. You can check that out. But that is going to do it for this video. I hope you liked. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.